Yes. Welcome once again. This is Breakthrough with Jeff, where we live life with zero limits. And today we're talking about a very important subject. This is the first things first. You know, how you run your day, how you run your life, how you manage your life depends on this principle of first things first. When you train your mind, because this week we're talking about, crucible mindset, a mindset that is unstoppable, taking your space on the planet, taking it by fire, taking it because it's yours. Your spot was designed, pre-designed by God for you. It has your name on it. Your money spot has your name on it. No one will take it. If you don't take it, no one will take that spot. It's yours. Now, how do we take it? It must be taken from here, from the mind. We win on the level of our thinking. As a man thinketh, so is she. Now, so the first things first is about what is it that you put as the primary drive of your life? What is the force that drives you? And I get this from the book that is called the Big Book, the Bible. And it says that put ye first the kingdom of God, and all these other things will follow suit. They will be yours. They'll follow you. There are things, if we put before other things, our life will not work. As a matter of fact, most of us, it's not that we are not living, the life that, it's not that we are not living our imagined life or the life of our desire. Is that life of our desire there are things we put before very important things. When you do that, fear creeps in, and you realize fear is taking over your life, and you're confusion, these emotions of confusion, fear, overcaution is, you're hesitating, you want to do it, you don't want to do it, you're there, you're not there. And so the principle of putting first things first begin with putting God as a primary drive of your life. You have to accept the idea that you are a human being. And human beings, we have three aspects of our life. We are body, mind, and soul. We are spirit, we are mind, and we are body. So some of us, we live from the place of the mind. Others will live from the place of the body. But I tell you, if you allow that primary force, the God in you, to drive your life, to be the driving force, to make decisions from that place of power, of realization that you're a spiritual being, that you're not limited. There are zero limits when it comes to you. I mean, it's a realization that you're not this body. You're not your body. You're not your mind. Because when you live from a place of your body, you're limited. You live from a place of mind, fear comes in. And so you have to go deeper. You have to live from the mind of your soul, the mind of your spirit. There's no limitation there. And when I talk about going back to the basics and really allowing the law of first things, I'm reminded of, where people get their power from. And their sources of power, there are people who are really powerless. They are driven by a sense of powerlessness because there's nothing supernatural. There's nothing that drives them beyond what we see. And hey, what do you see? It's only fear that you can see externally. It's impossibilities. There are limits all around you. But, so it's either you're powerless or you have this external power that comes by either your achievement or your association. But then that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about The law of first things is to go beyond achievement to fulfillment, to seeing yourself as a spiritual being, as someone that is a soul, that is having a human experience. When you see yourself that way, you're unlimited because the soul has no limits. That's why even when you die, the pastor will say, here lies the body of. He doesn't say, here lies Jeff. No, Jeff is no longer here because Jeff is a spiritual being. We are spiritual being. We are one with God, and God is everything. You have to know that and tell yourself that I am one with God and God is everything. I make that affirmation every time I feel limited. I just make the affirmation, for I am one with God and God is everything. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, for I am one with God and God is everything. When I see myself that way, when I have the mindset of oneness with my Creator, oneness with God, there's no dichotomy, and that comes when I put God before my fears, when I put God before my limitation, when I put God before my godfathers. Some of us, we are guided by our godfathers, the fear of man. We are guided by who says what, who comes, and you have your destiny aligned. Let me tell you, go beyond your boss, go beyond the human existence. Connect with your soul being, with your soulness, who you are as a human being. Otherwise, caste is a man that believes in another man and that follows another man. Don't follow me. I don't want anyone to follow me. Follow God. And God is in your heart. When you follow God, you realize we are following the same God and we are one with God. And we are one. There's no hatred. And you see, the reason there's so much division, so much hatred on the planet is that people are not putting the law of first things. Put God first. You not be a hater of any other human being. Put God first. You learn how to treat the person you love, your lover, with care and love and trust. You learn to take care of, the things that God has entrusted you with. But before God is first, whatever you're doing after that is just drama. Is just drama, and drama comes to an end after 90 minutes, or is it 60 minutes? Drama comes to an end. Then what? Go deeper. Go past the dramas of this life. Find the real treasure. Put ye first the kingdom of God. Okay, so what is this kingdom? We talk about kingdom. Put ye first the kingdom. This has nothing to do with religion, by the way. It doesn't matter what religion, because I want you to differentiate between spiritual values and religious beliefs. There's a difference. Spiritual values are global. Every religion practices spiritual values, and a few people, and that's why you find there are Christians that are really so unchristian. They are Muslims who are so un-Muslim. There are Buddhists who are so un-Buddhist, because these religions were based upon spiritual values, not religious beliefs. Religious beliefs are what we believe, like people will go to hell, people would do this and that. This is our religious beliefs as Christians. There are religious beliefs as Buddhists. They separate, and that's okay to have your religious beliefs and hold on to them. But then don't put them before your spiritual values. If you do that, you'll be an empty shell of a Christian. You'll be an empty shell of a Buddhist. You'll be an empty shell of a Muslim who has no impact on the planet. And let me tell you the planet that we want. We want a planet where people practice spiritual values. And let me tell you what these spiritual values are. And I want you to share with me, I don't know which religion you come from, but I want you to share with me, do you have these values? Number one is the value of love. The value of love, the value of peace, the value of joy. Any human being want to interact with someone like that has joy, peace, love, kindness, the patience, all these are spiritual values, and they're different from religious beliefs. No one wants to be around sickening religious dogma driven people that just want to tell you do this and do that, and they have no practice of love, kindness, meekness, humility, seeing each other, not higher than anyone else, loving each other. This is what Christ lived for. This is what the prophets of old lived for. They never established a religion. They established spiritual beliefs. And this is what I call the kingdom. Kingdom has nothing to do with your beliefs. Spiritual values, that's what I talk about. Love. And so, okay, so let's just dive in. How do I do this? How do you live out the mindset of allowing yourself to put first things first and live out the kingdom of peace, joy, love? So let's begin with love. When it comes to love, it's either you're driven by fear or you're driven by love. In your relationship, in your job, in your decisions, every moment, including this one, every decision you will ever make will be driven either by the energy of love or the energy of fear. If you're not love driven, fear will just make a home in your heart. If you're love driven, there will not be fear in you. And this is where you begin to live out your purpose, because there's no fear. This is what we talk about, zero limits. Is you're fearless. You're being who you were created to be. And I want you to practice this. I want you to think love. Think love as you interact with people. Think love. Put love before every action. Act from a place of love. Ask yourself this question. Is this coming from love or is it coming from fear? Okay, maybe right now there's a big decision that you're about to make. Maybe about career transition, or maybe about relationship transition. I don't know. Maybe about falling in love, or I don't know, falling out of love. You never know. Ask yourself this question. Is this decision driven by love or is it driven by fear? It makes your life so easy, so simple. Is this driven? If it's not driven by love, leave it. Leave it. That's not your destiny. It will take you to hell. Some of us are living in hell, they'll die going to hell. And I tell you, because if every decision is driven by fear all the time, then you become so erratic, you become so, you don't respond to life, you react, everything is reactive. Slow down. Go to that place of spiritual values. Connect with love. Meditate. Feel. How does it feel to be grounded in love? How does it feel? When you go to that meeting, maybe there's a conflict in a relationship. As you meet that person, come from an energy of love. Draw from that energy of love. Don't come from energy of fear. And you know it. You know when you're driven by fear. You know when you're driven by love. When you're driven by love, there's that sober groundedness where there's no need to explain yourself. You just speak the truth. And it becomes so easy to just live your life. The other one is joy. There are people who have no memory of joy. Every morning, from morning to evening, you don't know what it means to really just experience that emotion of joy. Joy is a fruit, is a result of the spirit within you. The spirit of love is actually a fruit of love. God is love. The fruit is joy. The fruit is peace. The fruit is patience. So love gives you that joy. You just have that joy that is just overwhelming joy. You can't explain it. Now, because most of us are not used to joy. When you're happy and you're greeting people, hey, how have you been, Jeff? Tell me, I'll tell you what's wrong with you. What have you been smoking? Or tell me, what do you want? I don't have money. Because they're not used to you being happy. Let me tell you, it can just begin. Yesterday we talked about action change mindset. So you take the action first and the mindset will shift. Most of us are discouraged in changing our mindset, changing our character, our behavior, our habits. And it's because we think that you change your mind and then change your action. That can work. But the thing is, understanding neuropsychology helped me to know that whenever I help my clients to take action first, you take action and then you become the person that does whatever you've done. Okay, take action first, and that action makes you the kind of person that does that. Obedience comes first. Take action first. Everything else will follow. And so when you create your ideal life vision, you create your vision, don't second guess yourself. Take action. This is why we talk about faith. Faith is taking the action without seeing the results, without even feeling the change. Take the action first, and you're going to feel the joy. Tell people love is labor. Take action. Take action. Say I love you. Call that person. Tell them I care. I see what you're doing. I see you. I see you. I used to work with this man of God who used to go around, and every time he sees someone, he said, I see you. I see you. And that made so much, just feel so good. You feel seen by the man of God. Sometimes you just want to hear, I see you. Call someone, tell them, I see you. I see what you're doing online. I see you and I like it. Some of us, we just watch and go. And we are passive in this life. We don't want to. Let me tell you, life is energy. Everything is energy. You support someone else, you will feel supported. God will command someone else to support you. Live free. Live free. As you put God first, as you live out the kingdom of God, as you live out values and put them before your beliefs, because your beliefs will choke your life. Your beliefs can choke your life if you put them before spiritual values. I know you're committed Christian, whatever you are, whatever you call yourself. For me, I don't care what you call yourself. As long as you don't practice love, peace, and joy, you have no place in my territory. It's just as plain as that. It's as plain as that. Because you can preach all you want, but if you've no love, I don't want to hear your message. If you've no love, you've no joy in your heart. Don't tell me about how I should attain this to give me joy. Joy doesn't come from achievement. Joy is a fruit. Joy is not something you get because you've gotten to a certain level. I deal with clients who are super achievers, but some of them have no joy. And so joy is not an equation of how much you have in your pocket. It's not. Some of us have a lot, and we have a lot of joy deficit. In fact, we have as much deficit as we have money. And so don't think this is a lie that you'll be happy when you have the house. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I get this. It's an illusion. It's a mirage. When you get there, your happiness will be pushed further. Your joy will be pushed further until you make that decision that joy is a fruit of the energy within. It's a fruit of love. And I have to just bite the humble pie and, just soak myself in the presence of love, presence of God, and let that presence be felt in my relationships, in everything that I touch, in my finances, in my children's relation, my relationship with my spouse. Let that joy and that presence color everything about me. Thank you so much for walking with me, and thank you for joining me at Breakthrough with Jeff. This is where we live with zero limits. As you, take in all this, I pray that you'll be the person that God created you to be. That person might have been locked inside you by fear or by all these beliefs that choke your ideal self. As you allow yourself to come from a place of love today and live every moment, every hour, every meeting, every session from that place of love, you realize that you're making a greater impact on the planet than when you live from a place of fear. Thank you. Take care of yourself and live with passion. Goodbye.